And it is another Saturday afternoon. We're on the edge of ComicsBurgh, and Grant is here this week. What's going on, Grant?
Hey, how you doing?
It's been an interesting year so far, and it's only January 18th, so we're doing stuff. We're getting stuff done, I guess. I don't know.
It's been an interesting 18-day year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a thing. It's been a thing so far. I mean, I've been like living like in 2020 for like 5 years now. So I mean, I just call this 2020 part 5 because we haven't expanded past 2020 as far as I'm concerned. All right, so let's get some news items out of the way, and then we'll talk about what do we talk like con survival. We'll do some diamond stuff, and then we'll talk about
I do
same.
have I do have a Kickstarter. It's not live
Yeah,
yet.
I got all that. I got all those links ready to go.
Okay.
So first up, we're going to look at the Diamond website. I want to share my screen. So you still have time as of, I believe, Monday to get your orders in for the books that are in the previews for this month. So you've got Blowtorch, The Middleman with multiple covers. You got The Edge issue 9, and you got Theme of Thieves number 4. So if you're going to your comic shop, or if you're just calling them up and saying, hey, I want to put my order in, you make sure you let them know about the new ComicsBurgh titles. Don't miss out because what else has happened this week is that we don't know what the future is for Diamond. Diamond did declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy this week, which puts a lot of publishers, creators, and things into a bind. So we have no idea what's going to happen. So, I mean, if you're not ordering from Diamond, you can head over to ComicsBurgh.com and the EdgeComic.com if you want to order books. We do have some plans in place, but we'll be talking about those ones in the beginning of February.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was surprised. I guess I was surprised you brought it up at all. I wasn't sure if you were going to talk about the elephant in the room, but
yeah, I mean, I think we have to. I think one of the things that I want to try to do is be a little transparent with this stuff, because I don't want people to, if they're ordering from Diamond or for their stores, and then things start to change, I don't want it to be a surprise to anybody. Like, oh, why aren't your books in here anymore? And that just explains why. Because things are changing. They're changing rapidly, but slowly enough that we don't know what's going on.
I mean, but I would say even without the whole bankruptcy thing, I think I speak for all comic book creators when I say we would rather you buy the books directly from us.
Yes.
And that's not to say that we have anything against the comic book stores. It's just the overhead versus what comic book stores are willing to pay is it's such a small margin. Right. It's really hard for us as independent comic book creators to break even.
Right. So I mean, and if you do still want to get books from your shop and they're not available anymore through the previous platform, just call them up and have them reach out to us, because I mean we can ship to stores, and both the store and us will make more money doing directly than they would through a distributor. So I mean, do it as you want. But if things go into the toilet or go south, just make sure that you're staying tuned to our shows or our social medias, and so you know what comes next.
Yeah,
so, go ahead.
I was going to say, right now I'm trying to broker a deal where we get money up front from Diamond, and if I can't do that, you might not see any of my future comic books in Diamond.
Right. So I mean, but there also is like, so we were segue to Kickstarter. So that's another option if you're looking for books and they're not available through your local shops. You also have the option of getting them from Kickstarter. So Grant does have. When is your Kickstarter launching?
January 27th.
So January 27th, you'll be launching the Kickstarter. So that is 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. And my goal with every Kickstarter is to get 100 followers. Right now, I think the last time I checked, we were at 84.
You're at 85.
85. Okay. Yeah. So we're doing good. We're on target to get 100, but obviously, if we could make it to like 120, 130, I wouldn't complain about that either.
Right. So if even if you can't back the Kickstarter, share them to your social media, share them to your friends, call someone up on the phone. If you meet someone on the streets you don't know, yell at them, "Hey, Grant's got a Kickstarter." And
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, following doesn't cost you anything,
yeah.
And it also doesn't obligate you to back it. So I hear from people all the time say, I like to support independent artists, and it's like, well, I mean, this is a really easy way to do that.
Right. And it helps with the algorithms too, because algorithms are always the things that we're chasing. So for those on the algorithm it's kind of like a reverb or a system is built around how many people are looking at something. So the more people that are following it, the higher chance it'll end up on the front page of Kickstarter, or when they send out emails saying, "Hey, this is what's new in comics for Kickstarter." So it just helps. So if you can click the follow button, and like I said, that even when it launches and you can't back, just share. I mean, give $1 if you can, even at that, like $1 or something, or share it with a friend, just to help out a little bit. Another
Well
Kickstarter.
Well said.
Another Kickstarter from ComicsBurgh is Beers and Bullets, or Beer and Bullets, from Page. So this one is a crossover with other indie characters. So it's an epic crossover event between Malone, Pinpoint, and Subject Zero. So again, give it a follow. I mean, like Grant was saying, is that just because you follow something doesn't mean that you're obligated to purchase anything. But share, say something nice about it. Don't hate on it. There's beer. I mean, maybe they'll have beer in the Kickstarter. I don't know.
I don't think you're.
And I think that's one of the things that whenever I do a Kickstarter, I want to have something weird or intangible that's part of it. That has it's like a tie-in to the product, but has nothing to do with it. Just to grab some extra people out there. When I did the coffee, a lot of people just grab the coffee. So I mean, in our next one, we'll have poker chips and possibly some playing cards, because it takes place in a casino. So to kind of get that casino vibe on it, maybe some challenge coins or something like that. I don't know, some goofy stuff that it's can just like fit in your pocket, and then you can show other people and say, "Hey, look, I've got this cool thing from ComicsBurgh." So as we were saying before about the bankruptcy, like there's articles all over the place out there. So here's one from Comic Book Resources.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about this before, so I don't know how much you want to give away to the general public.
I mean, just what's out on the internet is okay. I mean, it's out there that how much money they owe to Penguin and other people. But I mean, if there's anything we can do about it right now. So I mean, there's no telling how long they're going to last. And it's just a kicker to everybody is that Diamond has been the only distributor of comic books to comic book shops for a very long time. They do have competition somewhat from Penguin Random House and another company called Lunar, which is a discount comic book service. So they took Marvel, DC, Image, and a few others from them. So this will hurt mid-tier and smaller publishers if Diamond doesn't exist, because there's no other options for that. And Penguin and Lunar are not in the state to snag everyone. I mean, they may go after a few, but I mean, the chances of them picking up the 500 plus publishers that Diamond works with is very small. So, I mean, this could be an opportunity either for direct sales to stores, more direct sales to customers, or a lot of those publishers will no longer exist. So I mean that's the danger of the thing.
And I mean, what we were talking about the other day that sucks is Diamond owes a lot of independent comic book creators money.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact of the matter is, if I've been to bankruptcy court before, because I used to be freelance graphic designer, and a guy that I built a website for went bankrupt. And the thing was, some of the people that he owed money, he owed tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay. Oh, we lost Grant. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's frozen again. Grant is having technical difficulties. Okay. So while he's figuring that out, so we'll get back into the kind of the survival mode of the comic book creator. And I was saying last time we talked about like ISBNs and barcodes and those hidden costs. So one of the things that I do when shipping books is I don't use a traditional printer because you have to pay for ink to use a printer. And most printers are designed to fail eventually, which is making you buy another one. So what I use is a thermal printer. So it's all kind of like a laser, and and then it etches onto these labels. So all you're having to buy is labels. So that's going to save you so much money in ink. Because I mean, how many times a year are you buying ink cartridges that are probably $65, $70? So you buy this once, you buy the labels that aren't expensive. So you get like a 500 labels for $20. There's another one there that's $10. So I mean, it's all cost saving. So you don't want to sink money into ink if you don't have to. They also have thermal printers for larger pieces of paper. So this one prints legal size paper. So I mean, you don't really need to either buy paper or buy ink if you can get one of these other options, and just save you a little bit of money, because those things do add up over a year of spending $65 for ink. And it's unnecessary for that, because what I always find is I always run out of ink when I need to use it. So thermal printers are the way to go. I would suggest buying those. It's cheaper, more effective, and it's a lot easier to work with. Are you back? Okay. And Grant is back. Hey, Grant.
Sorry for the trouble. So I'm not going to go through the whole story that I was going through again. The point is, the people that Diamond owes, $10,000 to, they're going to get at least part of their money. But the people like us that they might owe, $500 to, are probably not going to get our money back. So,
and that's the messed up part about it is, and it kind of makes you question whether you even want to deal with something like that, because it's trust. Like they trust us to ship our books on time, and we trust them to get our books to the stores on time and then pay us when they're supposed to. And when that doesn't happen, and it's happened both things have happened. Like books came out late, even though they were at the warehouse. So I mean, you never know. Like you never know what kind of position you're going to be put in this kind of stuff, and you don't know what's happening behind the scenes in these companies, where they're telling you one thing and then they're doing something else. So it's the sleight of hand. So on the left side, they're saying, "Hey, we're doing this." On the right hand, they're like, "Oh no, we're not." So it's I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Because like you said,
yeah, when I first started selling my comics through Diamond, a lot of different comic book creators like messaged me and said, like, yeah, why are you even doing this? It's not worth the money that you make. And I was like, and after doing it for 2 or 3 years, I'm starting to think like, okay, now I get why so many comic book creators just don't even bother.
Right, right, right. I mean, but when we first started talking about it, I mean, I always saw it as marketing, and the goal was to kind of um, get into the stores with and then get in with the retailers themselves, and then shift to a more a ground game. I'll call it. And like I said, we'll talk about that next month. But I mean, it was always the goal, and it's kind of sped up the process. But I mean, you always have like something in your back pocket. You don't go all in unless you know that you can win.
So the bottom line here, to kind of put, I guess, a little bit of a positive spin on all this, is the future of independent comic books is Kickstarter, um, and other crowdfunding
Mhm.
sources. The future of independent comic books is not retail.
Right. Right. I mean, the direct to consumer model is what a lot of companies would chase, like Nike. They went all in kind of on the direct to consumer, and I don't think it really worked out for them. But I mean, that's nothing to do with us. But it's like they went really big on go to our website, order our shoes. We're not sending them to stores anymore, and it kind of backfired a little bit. So now they're doing a big marketing push back in the stores. So also, I think last time I talked about the barcode thing, and I wanted to show like the labeling and how I do it. And I think Grant, I think you only use the original number. You don't do sequences, right?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show it. So, show screen. So this is what I talk about when I say labeling. So it's the barcode here, and then the sequencing for the issue. So this would be 00611, which would be issue 6. And
Oh,
then this
okay. So
big
yeah, I
big
don't
one,
do the second. This
yeah,
I don't do the second smaller barcode, if that's what you mean.
right. So the two ones are cover one and then the volume. So if this was another cover that we did, it would be 621, and or for this a volume. So in some instances, books used to do voluming. So they would do 12 volumes for a year. And then when they went to the next year, they would start over with, well, they would do volume 2 and then the issue 1 again. No one really does that anymore, I don't think. But I mean, Marvel or DC will arbitrarily just start a new issue. So like you'll go Amazing Spider-Man 700 and then Amazing Spider-Man number 1 again, because as everyone probably realizes by now, that issue 1 always sell the most. So the more times you can put issue 1 out, that they want to do that. I mean, that's not anything that I was really interested in. That. And Grant is doing a new volume of Beowulf, which would technically be volume 2 and then issue 1.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in breaking up series into with issue ones. I know
Mhm.
you want to do the ongoing series, but I don't know. I guess tomato tomato.
Right, right. I mean, and they do. Everyone does it differently. Like when Jim Lee did Wildcats, I think he originally was going to do. He did a mini series, 1 through 4 mini series, and then the regular series started with issue 5. And I think he said before that he thought about starting with one again, and changed his mind. So I mean, like I said, it's like it works, and do it the way you want to do it. I like to do it because I like to see numbers starting to count up. So then I can be one of those guys that has an issue 700, even though it's really a long time. But it could happen. It could happen. We get to issue 700. But I mean, like I said, they do it the way you are comfortable with. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. You don't have to add the extra sequence. I just do it because I mean, it's just something I like to do. just for fun a little bit. I mean, the barcode works, so it doesn't break anything. So like I said, that you can drop that barcode on the book any way you want, and it helps the retailer with their purchase order system. So they generally take the book, they have like a scanner gun, they scan the code, it goes into their POS, and then they just put the name of the book in the POS because the barcode is not like an ISBN that's already tracked. So ISBN is a national number that's already just tracked nationally. So once the ISBN and the barcode are added, it's a sequence number that you can't change unless you change it in your identifiers. It'll scan as The Edge, Revenant, Volume 1, 1999, unless I change it. So it'll always be that same throughout everything. So in some cases, a retailer says, okay, I'm going to put in this book, scan my barcode, and I want it to be $2.99. So that barcode will be assigned $2.99 in their system, which doesn't affect anyone else. So, I mean, it's like I said, is that those are the difference between barcodes and ISBNs. And that's the reason why ISBNs are more expensive, because you're paying for it to be nationally recognized and not just a code that anyone can put into a system and change anytime they want. All right, fun times. The next thing was Consurvival. So the one thing that, again, I want to stress is knowing who you're having at these conventions, because I said before that a lot of people don't carry cash anymore. So you have to have a card reader with you of some sort. You have to have PayPal or something where someone can transfer you money, because you don't want to miss sales. The last thing you want is to tell someone, hey, there's an ATM somewhere, and they never come back. So you don't want to lose a sale because you don't have a way to grab a sale from some electronic means. As I said, is that not only people don't carry cash, most of them don't carry cards anymore. So it's Apple Pay, it's Google Pay, it's Samsung Pay, something that you have to have something to capture that sale, whether you're scanning it or you're going to use, you have that already set up on your phone, tablet, whatever. So one of the simpler ones, and you can get it from Amazon because we all like Amazon, is Square's Reader. So they have like multiple different ones, and I think Terminal is probably one of the more popular ones. You just have the little card, right?
Well, now what I'm doing is you can actually tap right onto your phone. You don't even need a Square Reader.
Oh yeah, NFC.
So I don't own this one, and you can probably guess why, because look, right underneath it's almost $300, which.
Right. And the reason why this one is, so one thing that I want to stress about a lot of these things is having a device that you're willing to hand someone to punch in their PIN number or something like that. So either if you don't want to have someone your phone continuously because you probably don't want to have someone putting their fingerprints all over your phone all day, a tablet, or one of these readers. So
what are you doing with your phone that you're so worried about people seeing what's on your phone?
Well, not that somebody's seeing something on it, their fingerprints and stuff, man. Grubbies.
I know, I'm just joking.
I mean, I work in IT a lot, and I used to work in the office, and like people didn't wash their hands, so that's why.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a tap and go also. So you can dip, you can chip, you can swipe, and everything's built into it. The only problem I have with this version, it doesn't have Wi-Fi. I mean, it doesn't have data built in, so you have to have a Wi-Fi signal. So either Wi-Fi at the convention, you're using a hotspot on your phone. The Zetto terminal does have data, and it's free for now until someone figures out how they can charge you for it. So I think it's I think it has a 3G chip in it, or a card, so you can get internet on the PayPal terminal, and they're both around the same price. So if you go to Zetto, I think the terminal is $199, and then if you get the dock with the printer, which this already has built into it, has a printer built in, it's about the same price. So I mean, it's just a matter of which ecosystem you're interested in. With Zetto, it's going to your PayPal account and it's instant. I think the Square terminal takes 24 hours to go to your Square account, which then you can send it to your bank account or whatever. With the Zetto one, you can set that to automatically go from PayPal to your bank, so then there's no interruption in the cash flow. So if you need to make a big purchase or something and you got some money sitting there, you can use it right away. Square again, it's 24 hours, and I think it's 24 hours from a weekday. Not so if you're at a show on Saturday, you might not get that money until Monday. So just keep that in mind when you're out shopping for your wares or how you want to use the ship readers, is that Square does have a delay. So they've got like a register. So I don't think anyone would want to have one of these things because like it has a built-in, I think that's an iPad comes with it, or I think. And then they have like there's SumUp has one. Let's Square again, and then they have the little card reader, but no display screen. So I mean, there's a lot of options out there. I think Shopify has one now, and I think GoDaddy has one also. So I mean, options. So like whatever, anything else, like options are good so that you can pick the one that works best for you, and you're not just locked into the same kind of thing all the time. So our viewers have gone up and down continuously since we've been talking, and no one's in the chat.
Nobody's really commenting, but yeah. Any guys who are watching, please, just let us know you're there. Say hi or something.
Yeah, and I think StreamYard may have messed up because I'd set 1 o'clock and then it switched to 2. I don't know if that's happened to you before when you use it, where you put a 1 o'clock a time in, and then when you change the minute, it switched to 2, and I didn't notice it because when I came on, it was like 70 minutes away. I'm like, wait a minute, I said 1 o'clock. So yeah, so what else you got going on?
What do I have going?
No, I said what else is going on? What else you got
going? A lot of stuff. I mean, mainly the Kickstarter. I'm finishing up issue number 1 of Beowulf Grendel's Curse, which I have about 2 weeks. All the pencils are done. Almost all the inks are done. And then I still have a few more pages of coloring to do.
Cool.
But I got 2 more weeks. And you know how I am. I always like to have everything finished by the time I start my Kickstarter.
Right. So there's the link for Grant's Kickstarter and the Beers and Bullets. Yeah, so I mean, it's like there's a lot of stuff that goes into the creation, and I like the one thing that I always wanted to do once I get the information is to share it, because I didn't like the idea that when I started that none of this information was out here on like costs, and like making a comic book, it costs a lot, and it costs a lot more when you make mistakes. So just as a thing to prevent people from making those same mistakes is that make sure you know how much your barcodes are going to cost. Make sure you know if you need ISBNs. Make sure you're not buying ink if you don't have to. Like, do not buy a printer unless you have to, because printers it's a cost. It's like gas for a car. It's cost. It's just always going to cost you something because you need another thing to help it run. So, I mean, don't buy a printer unless you're like printing out manuscripts or something. You have to take it to your publisher to have them look at it. And if they are doing that to you, then they're terrible people and they should stop it. But yeah, so I mean, it's been a year so far, and it's only, like I said before, it was only the 18th, and we are just in the middle of it. The good news is that starting tomorrow, do you use Pirate Ship for your shipping?
Yeah, I personally use Pirate Ship.
Yeah. So I mean, that's another tool that we should talk about is Pirate Ship. And I think that like PayPal has some discounts and things like that too. So starting tomorrow, the postal rates are going down again. So it's after the holidays. So every year after the holidays, the prices go down for shipping. So take advantage of it. while it's cheap to for shipping packages and stuff. So this is Pirate Ship, where it's cheaper to do here, and it tells you like the prices based on where you're sending the package and everything else. So you can get deals using Pirate Ship, and it's free to use this to do packaging. So like using Pirate Ship in combination with a label printer is going to save you so much money in the long run of doing things like it's just like, again, save some money on shipping. I mean, don't take it to the post office, because you see right here that it gives you options on how to upload addresses and things like that. You can copy and paste an address center. So if you grab an address from a sale you made, you can just drop it right into the bar there where it says paste the address and get on with your business. So you can compare rates. So you see that there's discounts on that. So instead of spending $20, you're spending 10. So again, that's just another cost saving message. So drop that into the chat. But just any way to save just a little bit of change is going to help you in the long run, because again, if you're continuously doing these things, then it's just adding up over and over again. So why spend money if you don't have to? Yeah. So I mean, I think there's one called Shippo. I don't think that one is free though. And then you can also get, if you sign up on the post office website, you can get discounts too. But again, that's another one that's not free. But there's another one.
Don't do stamps.com. I know.
Yeah.
I did that originally because they advertise on a lot of podcasts and stuff. And so I thought, oh, this is a reputable thing. And I didn't realize that they charge you a monthly fee, which it's a subscription system again. You get a free scale with that or something, right? I never got one. I don't know if other people do, but
I thought you could. I mean, let's go over to the website. I thought
maybe
you had like a scale or something they gave you.
I just know that you have to ship so many packages every month just to break even on the savings that you're getting, that stamps.com really isn't worth it.
So it does say you get a free up to 5 pound scale. I don't know if that's usable to anybody, because I'm pretty sure like your packages are either going to be a pound or 10 pounds. There's the only options. There's like nothing's going to be 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So you never got the digital scale?
No, I never got the scale. I don't know if that was my fault that I never asked them for it, or what the deal with that was. But
right. So you get the 30-day trial, no free. So free post is added to your account. So you have to add money to your account to use it.
Oh.
That's how that works. And then you get free supplies, scale, and then no contract canceled at any time. But again, you say it's a monthly fee to use the service, because they don't. You get $5 credit, which is going to pay for like a package down the street.
Yeah, so don't use stamps.com until they start giving us money for advertising. In that case, when that happens, my opinion will 100% completely change.
So, in other words, you never use stamps.com, because they're never going to do that. I mean, it's one of those things. I feel like that it's like one of those things where, like the streaming service, you subscribe to the streaming service or something other service and forget that you did it. You never use it, and you pay the bill because you don't remember that you did it. And it's just revolving. You're like, every month, like $7 comes out of your account, and you don't notice it because you paid for some streaming service, or what was it? The Columbia House CDs or tapes or whatever.
Now you're really dating yourself.
A lot of people got burned.
I think I probably still owe Columbia House like buying 2 or 3 CDs.
Well, remember what it say? It was like you get like 12 for a penny or something like that.
Yeah.
But then, Then the
Sorry, go
hidden
ahead.
cost at the bottom.
What was
But
worse than that was they would send like these little postcards that would say like, uh, if you don't want this CD, mail the postcard back. And I would always forget. I would be like, I would write myself a little reminder, you got to send that postcard back. And I would always forget. And then like I'd get, and it was always like the CDs that nobody wanted. Like it was some weird band that you never heard of.
yeah,
It
they
was never
they
anything
probably got
good.
really popular because they were giving out those CDs for free.
Man, the music industry used to be so easy to make so much money, and now
Well,
it,
you make money for somebody. I mean, like the artists always complain they never made any money, but somebody was making money off of them.
fair enough.
But like you see it now is that like they make more money off of streaming like their music now. It's not a lot, like it's like pennies on the dollar, but I mean it's something that's coming into your pocket if you get a lot of plays. But I mean it's you're back to the old selling things out of the trunk of your car kind of situation now, which is probably what's going to happen with comics. That's what we'll be doing. We're going around the city in a ice cream truck selling comic books.
Yeah, as much as we want to complain about how comic book creators don't make money, at least we're not musicians, right?
Well, I mean that's an expensive thing though, because if you're making music, like you have to have equipment, you have to have somewhere to store the equipment, you have to be able to transfer the equipment, you need studio space, and you have to hire a band. So I mean it's a lot more, it's a lot of money involved in that too than the comics. Is it more or less? I don't know, but I mean the chances are smaller to get discovered, right? Because it's an even bigger field now too that you're fighting in. But again, it takes just like the right person hearing something or seeing something just to have you blow up. So
Yeah.
like it's just a matter of getting that product into the right person's hands so they could say, "Oh yeah, let's make a movie deal," or let's get you a record deal, there, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a challenge, but I mean, if like you wouldn't do it if you didn't love it. So like most people
Th-
would have been like, you know what, I'm done. And like
That's what
that
I
happens. It
that's what
happens.
I always say. I always say if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah, right. Or if it was easy, there'd be a button for it. Easy button. But yeah, so I mean, it's a passion. So I mean, if you don't have a passion for it, you're not going to last long. But I mean, you're still having fun with it for the most part. But
For
just
the
know
most
that just know that it's not an easy road. But I mean, like I said, I never want to discourage anybody because my whole entire thing is getting knocked up and picking yourself back up and trying again. But fight the fight,
part.
right?
I try not to discourage people, but I am realistic.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes by being realistic, I'm discouraging people. But I mean,
And just
I say all the time, if I had known how much money and how not so much how much work making the comic book was, because I knew that, but if I had known how much work like marketing the comic book
yeah,
is,
yeah, that's the challenge.
and if I had known all that stuff before I started the comic book, I probably wouldn't have finished the comic book
Hmm.
because, um, I mean, that's what I mean. That I said to myself, I can't quit. I've already spent all this money and all this time,
Right.
and if I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have finished. Probably not even
Right.
issue one of Beowulf.
Let me say this: that it's not discouraging. It's a challenge. Then, so now I'm not trying to discourage you from doing it. I'm challenging you to do it now. Do it. I dare you. So, like I said, like Grant was saying, marketing is one of the hardest parts because where does marketing begin? And I guess that'll be our topic for next week because now we'll talk about marketing and the challenges of that and the new sphere of it because social media and those things have moved to more the algorithm space and ads. So I would say that you probably see more ads on like Facebook and things like that, then you probably see my posts. So it's challenging now. But I mean, one of the things that I will say is that always capture email addresses from Google. Create a email list and use that as your marketing tool, because you're sending something directly to someone's inbox and it's not a hunt. So they're not hunting for you on social media. You're sending it directly to them. They don't have to hunt. You've kind of served up on a platter to them.
It might not go directly to their inbox, but it'll at least go to them.
Right. I think my view rate is 35% right now from Substack. So I guess
I think that's about normal. That's about what mine is.
Yeah. So I'm closing in on 600 subscribers. So I mean, it's 35%. You're hitting like 250 people or so. So I mean, that's decent. It's not world breaking. It's not going to set the world on fire. But again, that's numbers, and that's a potential sale. So if you can sell to 250 people, I mean, you've made your goal for that month. And that's where we're looking for from comic shops. Like if we can grab 200 stores that are willing to work with us without the system in the middle, then I mean that's a win for us. I mean it's more challenging for the shipping and things of that nature, but I mean, like what else are we going to do? Like we can't go to every convention because of travel restrictions, or my concern is that costs going up for those shows. So I mean, we're kind of in a mode where 7 hours is probably our distance now, and like my plans of saying, oh, we'll just hop on a train is not something that's going to work. Going everywhere. I just feel like that flying to a convention with all the things you have to carry with you is probably not a good idea. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, but also, conventions are getting harder.
Yeah.
Too. I think a lot of people were eager, like right after the pandemic. I mean, I really entered the independent comic book world at the best time, because it was like right as the pandemic was closing out. Everybody was eager to go to conventions. Everybody was checking out new stuff. And I feel like a lot of that excitement is worn off at this point. And yeah, it's, I guess the bottom line is don't go into independent comic books thinking that it's going to be easy.
We're not, like there's only one Todd McFarlane, so like Todd is the guy who jumped the hurdle and made it. So not only did he take his singular comic Spawn and grow it into a franchise, but he also used it to make a toy company, which I'm pretty sure that he makes more money off the toys than he does the comics.
Oh, he makes 20 times as much money off it. Which, I mean, it's kind of what makes him cool. It's cool that he still makes his comic book, because, I mean, you're looking at somebody who has $250 million in the bank, and I mean, the fact that he sits down and is still putting out the comic book is pretty unbelievable. But yeah, in general, I mean, there might be a few people throughout history who have gotten rich off of comic books, but those people are the anomalies.
Yeah. Right. It's just again, it's something just catching fire. That's all. That something catches fire, it catches somebody's imagination, and they're willing to share it with others. And that's where these things are important, and it's important for the customer bases and the retailers to share those other things that aren't the corporate products. So I mean, while these things are happening with Diamond, these stores will not be able to survive on a pittance of the books that they're getting now. So you can't just have Marvel, DC, Image, and others you have to have those smaller books because those are what's going to capture people's imaginations now. Like, I don't think anyone's walking into a comic shop looking for Spider-Man 750, looking for something new that they can lay claim to and feel like that it's something that no one else has discovered, because they want to be able to share that with others and say that, hey, look what I found. Like, no one's finding Spider-Man. Everyone's already found Spider-Man. So to not be able to carry smaller books is detrimental, because you're going to lose that audience, of that new audience that's still looking for something new. And like, I mean, not to say that they won't buy Spider-Man, but it's not what they're looking for. So, I mean, we're hoping that this diamond holds on for longer than they might be able to, or somebody with fat pockets comes in and swoops in because they love it, not because they're trying to make money. Because it's going to be so weird over the next this rest of this year. And again, it's only January 18th again. Just again, it's only January 18th, and we're already in the throes of it. Cool. Anything else?
No, that's all I had.
Cool. All right, so we're going to close it out. I'll be back next weekend, and we'll talk about some marketing stuff. And February 1st, we're going to do a ComicsBurgh showcase. So we'll be talking about some stuff from last year, stuff that's coming up, and what our goals are going to be now, because it's only the 18th of January and it's already been a full year. All right, guys, have a good rest of your weekend.
Thanks, guys.